Hey, hi all. Coming at you with another video. Randy Roth here. Hey, often if you have the post-trib view, you get accused of having a salvation of works. Why is that? Well, because the contrast between a pre-trib view and a post-trib view is that there's dispensationalism for the pre-trib view, and the post-trib view gets this flack that it's a salvation of works. So I'm going to discuss that today. So if it's a salvation of works, then what must somebody do to be saved? See, there's this misconception of what works are and what grace is and the role of salvation. See, if salvation is a free gift and nobody has to do anything to have salvation, well then everybody's saved and nobody has to do anything to be saved. However, if you have to do something, if faith without works is dead, then how does that work? Because we are saved by grace through faith, not of works, lest any man should boast. See, the deal is, there's this element of grace in there. There's works, there's grace, and there's faith, and there's salvation. And they're all totally separate elements. See, you have the works. If you believe, well, that's a work. If you receive, that too is a work. If you do anything, like the rich young ruler is told, go sell everything you have, go give it to the poor and come follow me. That's what Jesus told the rich young ruler in Luke 18:18. That was the message to him. Do you think that, a year later when Jesus was at the cross and everything changed? Because there's a different dispensation. It's like, hey buddy, you're rich young ruler, you no longer have to do that anymore to be saved. Jesus was wrong. All you got to do is follow after me with this simple little prayer and you're good to go. Do you really think that the rich young ruler was wrong? I mean, I'm backing up. Do you really think that what Jesus told the rich young ruler was wrong? Do you really think that the author and finisher of our faith was wrong in his message of salvation? So, it's not a matter of works that save us, but it's a matter of grace that enable us to do the works. See, without grace, you can't do anything. Without the enablement of God in your life, you cannot do anything that accomplishes salvation. See, salvation is not an ideal. The word for salvation in the Greek is sozo, S-O-Z-O. And it means saved, healed, and delivered. So it's not this ideal of, well, I'm going to go to heaven someday. No, it's a matter of heaven, saved from being sick, saved from being oppressed by devils. You see, 1 John 5:18 tells us that he who is born of God does not sin, and the wicked one touches him not. Hey, that's pretty bold statement. But the fact is that grace enables a person not to sin. That's what saves them from sin, is grace. Not because God turns a blind eye to the sin. That's an absurd idea, as stated in Romans 6. salvation is obtained by total surrender. See, because if you haven't surrendered a part of your life, well, then you're still Lord of your life. And you cannot surrender any part of your life without the grace from God to do so. And how do you get grace? Well, you get grace by humbly asking for it, because God gives grace to the humble. See, we can boldly go to the throne of grace to obtain grace for that time of need, because we know that we're going to need it. There's that time when we know that we're going to, be confronted with the temptation to blow it. And we can boldly go to the throne of grace today and obtain that grace. We can humbly go and get it. Without grace, you can't do the work. Without works, faith without works is dead. So if you think that a sinner's prayer will save you, if you think that believing and receiving will save you, you need to reconsider what has been taught you. Because nowhere does the Scripture say that receiving Him into your heart will get you saved. It does say that those who believe on Him, Jesus said that in John 3:16. It says, those who believeth on Him shall have everlasting life. Do you think I believe that in His existence, He was standing right in front of them? He was presenting that right there. No, it was believing in the validity of His words. A lot of what He has to say is really hard. It's extremely hard. Like in John 6:66, it tells us that, the 70 on the disciples, they left Him. And He turned to the 12 and said, are you going to leave me too? And they said, well, where are we going to go? You have the words of life. And see, that's what it was, the words of life. It's that hard truth that brings life. He is the way, the truth, and the life. And, you can get a lot of people to encourage you, but it's not the way, it's not the truth, and it's not the life. But it is often a lie. So sad that so much encouragement out there is a neatly wrapped up lie. Take heed that no man deceive you. That's what Jesus and Paul both tell us. All right. Thanks. Take care.